Are you happy in life?
I'm awfully happy. Steadily progressing forward. At least at least that's my intention.
Yep.
Is to keep looking at the next step, keep looking at the next step, keep looking at the next step. Things, people always say, man, God always has a way of making it work out. It's funny. There's no mistakes to be made when you're looking at each step and making a move. Not just looking at it, like actively pursuing it. Once you see it, step on it. Once you step on that one, get ready for the next one.
Yeah. Are you a religious person?
Am I a religious person? I don't think I'm so much religious. I'm very spiritual.
I get it.
Obviously, I'm a fan of darn near every religion. The
truth in it, anyway.
Yeah. Well, religion, in itself is, as a friend of mine was saying, his grandmother used to tell him, religion and politics, that kind of conversation is not polite conversation, and I just think that it's one of the two things that it divides us as children.
It has the potential to.
Yeah. I just think it's a shame that people will take the words of someone, what they believe, which may not even be the correct thing, and run with it. Like people say, well, Hindus, they idolize multiple gods. They worship multiple gods. That's not what happens in Hinduism.
Mm-hmm.
They do have gods and goddesses, right? But it's not a worship thing.
Yeah.
These are things that are identifiable with certain functions in life.
Yeah.
Brahm is where it's at for them. It's like God is where it's at for Christians. Islam, it's, they're going to say Allah. You got plenty of paths available.
Yeah.
And that's what they are, paths.
Yeah.
I knock none of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I embrace, I embrace what people have to say. Some people are like, don't be so open. And I'm like, why? Why not?
Yeah. I would say people say that because it's almost like there's a fear of your mind being infiltrated or something. As if you don't have the reasoning ability to hear everything a person says and then just not accept the parts of it that don't, that don't add up. Like, it's like, don't listen to nothing that they say because you don't want them poisoning your brain. And it's like, no, I can hear what they say and put a filter on and filter out what's beneficial for me and what's not. I can hear everything. I don't have to shut them out and not hear anything. You know what I mean? Because there is validity to everybody's point. Everybody has a little bit of it, I would say.
Yeah.
But when we look at ours and we just say, well, it's just mine, that's right, and everybody else's, I think that's what you're talking about when you say we let it divide us. You know what I mean? Like, we feel like our path is the only path. So, last thing, man, I'm gonna sum this up. You talked earlier about taking your focus off of the problem and placing your focus on the solution. I've had several conversations with people in the past about that subject, and that kind of lines up with my philosophy, which is essentially you should pay attention to the problem long enough to notice it. Like, if you don't notice the problem at all, like Dr. Phil says all the time, you can't change what you don't acknowledge.
Yes, true.
So in my opinion, you need to acknowledge the problem, but you need to only acknowledge the problem long enough to notice it. After that, you need to flip your vision or you need to flip your purpose and intention to solution mode. And like I said, I've had several conversations with people about that in the past. And there's this other side that says, no, I gotta focus on the problem. I gotta focus on the problem. And you know, if I don't focus on the problem, then the solution will never come into focus. But I would say that as long as you focus on it, you can't place your focus in two places at one time. It's hard to do that. You know what I mean? It's hard to be inside the building and outside the building at the same time. It's hard to be confident and doubtful at the same time. And it's also difficult to focus on the problem and the solution at the same time. So, you know, I've always said it's best to, you know, yeah, notice the problem, but after that, turn to the solution and keep your mind there. But like I said, there are others that would say, nah, man, you know what I mean? If I don't notice the problems of the world, I can never fix anything. And so my job is to go around and notice what's wrong so that I can fix stuff. Speak to that a little bit in summary and yeah, speak to that a little bit, man.
I mean, you know, the thing that comes to mind to me with solutions is that when you put a solution in motion, you don't have time to think about the problem. The problem is only beneficial to the economics of society. I hope that makes sense.
You got to elaborate on that just a tad bit.
The problem, how can I put it into an example? Let's say you're sick and you don't really come up with the solution to the problem. You come up with a solution to the symptom, which will keep you going back and forth to the doctor. Okay, I'm sick. I need some antibiotics. However, I'm not going to work on my organs to repair them so that they can be strong and fight off whatever
that problem,
that problem, the liver or whatever, kidneys or the heart, whatever you want to look at, right? Okay, yep. I don't know. You tell me, you know. So
makes sense.
So that is one of the things in that systemic kind of behavior is paramount to or no, I should say this, that systematic behavior, right? Because it's a system, it's a thing, it's a process, and it keeps the economy afloat in that regard.
Absolutely. The fear of the problem taking over. Absolutely.
And that's what I mean by that. That's what I mean by that.
I understand that. I totally understand that. You know, again, man, listen, I want to thank you for giving me and my audience this time. Just letting me pick your brain for a little bit. I'm very appreciative of it. In summary, what would you say to a person that is at the beginning of the journey that you are on? Meaning the beginning of your journey for you was, you know, the loss of your sight, right? So, but to me, whether you're talking about the loss of sight or whether you're talking about your home getting foreclosed on, losing your home, losing a job, losing your health, losing a loved one, getting a divorce, any of those things, I mean, all you're doing is just switching, you know, the name of what it is that you're losing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So what would you say to a person that's at the beginning of that journey? Something has come into their life, totally unexpected. They don't have the mother that you have. They don't have the boarding school that you went to. They don't have somebody to teach them how to stand on their own, even though they don't have this thing. what would you say to them? They're at the beginning of their journey. They just lost whatever it is that's near and dear to them, sight, whatever it is. To me, it's kind of all the same thing. What would you say to that person? How would you help them? How would you help them get through it?
That they will laugh again one day, you know. And mainly, none of this stuff exists anyway. It wasn't yours to lose or to own, you know,
Powerful.
in the first place. So you really haven't lost anything. Simplicity is the key to existing happily, I should say. Yes, because I'm a religious person, like I'm always looking at the different religions, and in Buddhism, ridding of suffering, the ridding of suffering is the key. And if you understand that you don't own none of this stuff, this is that kind of thing, a job, a bank account, these are hard-hitting things to people. People in the 30s and the Great Depression, jumping out of windows, killing themselves over that.
Yeah.
Because they were, made to believe that that's what made them powerful.
Yeah.
That's what made them who they were.
Yeah.
Even the experience doesn't make you who you are. You're past it. Like I said before, it helped my experiences at the school. It helped shape and mold me.
Yeah.
But that's not what made Byron Harden. That's not what makes me do what I do, in a sense. I have, and I know that sounds a bit contradictory because I know what I said, formerly in this interview, but a person who's going through something, what they're experiencing to be what we consider to be a loss is really in the mind. It's really in the mind. And because someone said, that you're supposed to feel this way because you lost your job.
Yep.
And so you're living through habit. When in reality, when were you the happiest? Most people is when they were children, when they were 5 years old, 4 years old. No worries, no bank accounts, no jobs, less stuff. As life goes on, you start to accumulate. Accumulation is evil. At the end of the day, it's like person, no, I got a lot of money. I could do a lot of things with it. But guess what? With a lot of money comes a lot more responsibility.
A lot of management, man. It's definitely harder for me to upkeep 2 cars than it is 1.
And then it's 1. Absolutely. The mathematics make sense all over the place.
Yeah.
No one on this planet, no one can say otherwise. And that's why I have a problem a lot of times when people say, oh, pray to God for
whatever,
for your bank account to reflect what you want it to reflect. Like, why would I ask for that? Why would I ask for that? No, go work, right? Or do something actively to change that.
Yeah.
You cannot. There's no clarity there. That's only ambiguity, or should I say vagueness? Because it's probably more vagueness, right? It's just more. It's so vague because it could be a ton of things that could go for. I'm not praying for nothing. I'm not praying for nothing physical. It's ridiculous. You know, I'm not meditating over something physical. Oh, the money and the this and you want that car? You better pray for that. You better sit down and meditate about the car. See yourself driving it. Feel it. Smell the new car smell. Once you get rid of that mentality, you'll start to notice that you're not losing anything. You're only gaining. And once you start to gain the things that really make sense, or the thing that really makes sense, which is a sense of who you really are, you know, and that can only happen through simplicity. So, you know, instead of a person looking at a loss as a gain, and I'm saying loss in the sense of this, you know, in sense of where we are nowadays.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at it as in that particular fashion, they should, they would be able to then see the real gain in what's going on, because no telling what's happening up the road.
I agree.
No telling what's going on down the road.
That makes so much sense.
That's all you can do.
You know, man, one of the most motivational and inspirational films that I've ever seen in my life is Rocky. I love Rocky movies, man, especially the first one. And one of the main reasons I love that movie is because it kind of talks about what you're talking about right now. What was inspirational to me about Rocky? You know, Rocky got knocked down constantly. Because he got up more than he got knocked down, that's what stuck out about him. Now, he wasn't necessarily in control of how many times he got knocked down, but he was in control of how many times he got up. And so because he constantly kept getting up and kept doing what he could, like you say, just kept moving forward, the fact that he got up was inspirational. You know what I mean? So it's almost like, man, life, it don't even matter what happens in life, it's what you do. Because you can get knocked down repeatedly, but that don't have to define you. You get what I'm saying? So what you're saying is totally, it makes total sense to me. Yeah. Again, man, I appreciate your time. Where can people find you?
So icmusic.org is the website. That's, you know, ISEEMUSIC.org, as well as IC Music LLC. This is Facebook, and that's the Twitter and the Instagram as well. We're kind of all over the place in a sense. We got some workshops coming up. One that I could think of is a DJ workshop. So we're teaching blind individuals club DJing, how to DJ as a profession, and not just on live location DJing, but as well as production-based DJing. And using, you know, various styles of technology, like from iOS devices all the way to the Mac OS, using DJ Pro and Spotify as the actual API in which they can grab the content from. That's going to be on November 9th, starting on November 9th, 10th, and 11th. It's a 3-day workshop that's going to be at the San Francisco Lighthouse. We just launched our virtual classes, so we're training blind individuals across the globe now on audio production, all things audio production. So all the way from DAW classes and navigating and mixing in those DAWs to machine and complete control, which is Native Instrument products. We have a lot of sponsorship in place from some really cool sponsors. Avid, which is the company that makes Pro Tools. Avid is has been a sponsor of ours for quite some time now. Mr. Ed Gray has really taken us under his wing. He's done a lot of great things with us and stood behind us 100%. As well, Sweetwater, which is a retailer and one of the best ones on the planet. They sell pro audio gear, anything, audio technology, you can get it from them. They are an amazing company located over in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And one of the main things about Sweetwater is their ability to handle blind customers. This is a company that is they don't have a storefront, right? Well, they do, but they don't, right? But so they don't have, like, it's not like a chain, like a Guitar Center or something like that. So you basically order your stuff online and they ship it to you. So the way that their salesmen and women, their tech team is able to facilitate assistance for our learners who come through our program has been unparalleled. So I always give them great kudos on that. And then Tri Electronics also, and Shure Microphone likewise, or they both sponsor us in whatever we need. Shure Microphones obviously in the microphone department, but Tri Electronics does a lot of, anytime we do any kind of presentation, they give us the displays we need. They sponsor us on audio, any and everything. So support. So, I thank them publicly all the time. And then lastly, all our classes, all our courses, our virtual classes, our hand-over-hand model, which is currently being held here at IC Music, which is at the On the Moon recording studio. That stuff is what was I about to say about that? Oh, yeah, that stuff is all regulated. The business is all regulated by Illinois Board of Higher Education. So we're technically a vocational school.
Wow.
Though we and it's based on our hand-over-hand model, which is our face-to-face training. And so that's a cool accreditation that we have, one of them that we have in place.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of where we are.
Absolutely. Well, there it is. My friend Byron Harden, giving you what he can give you about vision, even though he doesn't have sight. So I think that's a beautiful thing. Go and visit him at his sites. I'll leave your links in the description so anybody can catch up with you if they want to.
Yep.
My name is Maurice Bay. If this is the first time you tune it into this YouTube channel, this is pretty much the content that you can expect from me. I deal in a lot of subjects, but it don't matter what subject I deal in, I'm always looking to help. I'm always looking to help get things done. I'm always looking to help you get things done. And I'm looking to help you. I'm always looking to help you smile and help you deal with life in a way that you're going to get more joy from. So if you like the content, make sure you subscribe to my channel and be on the lookout for more content, and make sure you go and see Byron at his sites as well. I do want to say real quick, it is 2018 right now. No telling when anybody's going to see this recording. So the dates that Byron gave at the San Francisco Lighthouse, November 9th, 10th, and 11th, just to throw it out there, that is 2018. I don't want nobody showing up to your event next year, 2019. Yeah. Okay. But that's pretty much it, man. I appreciate you giving me your time. I hope you guys got value from this broadcast, and be on the lookout for more. Bye.